A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. So let's inshallah begin with this first ayah. So alhamdu, this first word alhamdu. Please remember this principle we have discussed in the past as well. Whenever you see that a sentence is starting and in the start you have ism which has alif lam and rafa status, that is almost certain that your jumlatul ismiya is going to start, and this ism will play the role of mubtada. So alhamdu has fulfilled both conditions. It has alif lam and it is in rafa status. So alhamdu will become mubtada. We just write MB just to make it short and to save the time. And then lillahi, we have discussed this thing multiple times, that lillahi is actually two things, lam and lafzul jalala. This lafzul jalala is a word or term which we use whenever Allah's names come. Lafzul jalala, which means the word of majesty. So the word Allah is in jar status. And why? Because of lam. So lam is jar and the word Allah is majroor. So lillahi is a jar majroor fragment. Now alhamdu, we said alhamdu is mubtada. Lillahi is a jar majroor phrase. And we know that in a jumlatul ismiya, a jar majroor phrase, it plays the role of muta'alliq bil khabar. But at the same time, we know that in case if our khabar is missing, then it will play the role of khabar, and we call it shibhul jumla khabar. Or you simply call it khabar, but you need to understand that it is not the normal khabar, because normal khabar is in rafa status. Okay, so it is not the normal khabar, but it can play the role of khabar. And then we see inshallah that do we have khabar or not. So let's go on. Rabbi and al-alamina. Whatever Rabbi and al-alamina will become, one thing is for sure, it cannot become the khabar. Why? Because Rabbi is in jar status and khabar is in rafa status. Likewise, ar-rahmani and ar-rahimi, it can also not play the role of khabar. Why? Because both ar-rahmani and ar-rahimi, both of them are in jar status. If you move on, maliki, yaumi, ad-dini, all the three words, they are in jar status. So we can see that there's nothing else which can play the role of khabar, because remember, khabar has three categories. We have discussed in our when we learned the rules about khabar, that khabar can be one word khabar, it can be a complete sentence khabar, and it can also be shibhul jumla khabar. So in this case, lillahi, which was muta'alliq bil khabar, it will play the role of khabar. So alhamdu mubtada, lillahi, which is jar majroor, but now it will play the role of khabar because actual khabar is missing. Alhamd mean the praise, all praise, or you can say the ultimate praise. All of them are correct translation. So the praise, the ultimate praise, and or you can say all praise for Allah. Right? Then Rabbi. Rabbi is in jar status. And we know that whenever we see ism in jar status, we know that whenever we see ism in jar status, they are not like many possibilities. There are two possibilities. Either there is a jar before it, or there is a mudaf before it. Now, in this case, before the word Rabbi, you have the word Allahi. Now, obviously, the word Allahi is not a jar. That is something for sure. And likewise, if you think that maybe Allahi is becoming mudaf and Rabbi mudaf ilay, it is not the case. Why? Because if you translate Allah and then Rabbi as the master, Allah of master, because you know that mudaf ilay, you translate them by using the English word of. So if just in case, if you think maybe Allah is the mudaf and Rabb is the mudaf ilay, it is not possible. Why? Because the translation would become Allah of Rabb, which does not make any sense, right? Now, I have told you last time that when you see ism in jar status, which is Rabbi in this case, and you do not find any of these two reasons, there is no jar before it and there is no mudaf before it, then the third thing comes in, and that third thing is that something has come in jar status before Rabbi, and this Rabbi will become the sifa or badal for that word. Now you need to look at what came in jar status before Rabbi. And you can see that before Rabbi, there's only one word or one ism which came in jar status, and that is Allahi, right? So now we will say that this word Rabbi is actually sifa or badal for the word Allahi, right? Now, we have discussed in the past that there is slight difference between sifa and badal, but one thing is for sure, that both of them have same status. As in this case, Rabbi and Allah both have their status of jar. So right now, Rabbi is actually becoming the sifa. For who? For the word Allahi, which means that this word Allahi is becoming mawsoof. Word Allahi is becoming mawsoof and Rabbi is the sifa. But at the same time, you can see that Rabbi is connected with Al-Alamina. How? Al-Alamina is in jar status, right? And before, how do we know this? Because Ina, just recall the Muslim chart, Ina sound could be nasab, could be jar. Ina is the plural. Muslimuna, Muslimina, Muslimina. So this Ina sound could be nasab, could be jar. In this case, if you translate Rabbi mean master, Al-Alamina, all people, master of all people or Lord of all people. You see, when you use the word of, this gives you the indication that Al-Alamina is playing the role of Mudaf ilay, which means that Al-Alamina is in jar status because Al-Alamina is Mudaf ilay and Rabbi is the Mudaf. So Rabbi is Mudaf and Al-Alamina is Mudaf ilay, which means that now you will say that Rabbil Alamina, the whole thing is the sifa. Why? Because Rabbi and Al-Alamina are connected. So Rabbil Alamina became the sifa. For who? For the word Allah. Let's move on. Ar-Rahmani. Ar-Rahmani is in jar status. And before Ar-Rahmani, there is no jar. And if you think that maybe Rahmani is in jar status, because Rahmani is Mudaf ilay, so you can try the translation. If you make Ar-Rahmani as Mudaf ilay, which means that you are making Al-Alamina as the Mudaf. So Al-Alamina means all people of Rahman. It may make some sense, by the way. I'm not denying that. But Ar-Rahmani is in jar status for the same reason for which Rabbi was in jar status. And what was that reason? That Ar-Rahmani is actually again another sifa. For who? For the word Allah. So word Allah has this sifa number 1. This is sifa number 2. And then Ar-Rahimi. Again, ism in jar status. And before Ar-Rahimi, the word is Ar-Rahmani. Ar-Rahmani obviously is not a jar. Second possibility was that there is a mudaf before it. If you make ar-Rahmani mudaf and ar-Rahimi mudaf ilay, translation would not make any sense. So same reason, the ar-Rahimi is also the sifa for the word Allah. Sifa number 3. And then the word Maliki. Maliki. Maliki is also ism in jar status. And before Maliki, there is no jar, there is no mudaf. So Maliki is becoming sifa and other sifa for the word Allah. Sifa number 4. But Maliki is connected with the Yaumi. How? Maliki as mudaf and Yaumi as mudaf ilay. If you translate Malik, which means the honor, Yaumi, day, honor of day. You see, honor of the day. So which means that Maliki is actually mudaf and Yaumi is mudaf ilay. But hang on a second. Yaumi is connected to Ad-Dini for the same purpose, which means that Maliki is mudaf. Please pay attention. Maliki is mudaf and Yawmiddin is mudaf ilay. And at the same time, Yaumi and Dini are also mudaf ilay. So there's a cluster of mudaf ilay. So Maliki mudaf, Yawmiddin mudaf ilay. And Yawmiddin itself is a mudaf ilay as well. Now let's wrap up the whole thing, inshallah, and then you can ask any of your questions. Alhamdu mubtada, Lillahi is jar, Lam is jar, Allah is majroor, right? And then Rabbil Alameen is the sifa number 1 for Allah. Ar-Rahmani sifa number 2 for Allah. Ar-Rahimi sifa number 3 for Allah. Maliki Yawmiddin, the whole thing will become sifa number 4. Maliki Yawmiddin, the whole thing will become sifa number 4. And then inside of Maliki Yawmiddin, there are 2 clusters of mudaf ilay. Last point. Alhamdu mubtada, Lam is jar, word Allah is majroor, but word Allah is mawsoof, right? Word Allah is mawsoof from Rabbil Alameen all the way to Maliki Yawmiddin. All of them are sifat. Allah is mawsoof, Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin, all of them are sifat, which means that Allah mawsoof and all of the sifat together will be in the bucket of majroor. Now you will say that that Lam is jar, Allahi, Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin majroor, right? So you have basically put the whole thing in the bucket of majroor. Lam jar from Allah all the way to Maliki Yawmiddin is majroor. This jar and majroor is it was actually mutalliq bil khabar, but now it will play the role of shibul jumla khabar. So alhamdu mubtada, and then from lillah to all the way till end is the shibhul jumla khabar. So this was the analysis, inshallah. So now we'll say that alhamdu is mubtada, and then lam as the jar, and then Allahi mawsoof, and Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Malik Yawmiddin, these are sifat. The plural for sifa is sifat. So mawsoof and sifat together, which means Allah, the word Allah mawsoof, and Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Malik Yawmiddin, sifat, mawsoof and sifat together is in the bucket of majroor. And jar and majroor together will make the khabar. So this will be a bigger picture of this whole analysis. So Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. So let's deal with this word Iyyaka because it is coming first time in our analysis. We are all familiar with the word ka, and we know that ka is an attached pronoun, right? And we know that attached pronoun, please pay attention. With regard to attached pronoun, there are four possibilities. Let me number them one by one. One possibility is that attached pronoun is attached with a preposition. For example, min ka, min and ka, because min is a preposition, so ka will be attached with the preposition. So in that case, min is jar and ka is majroor, right? So that is one case of any attached pronoun that it becomes majroor. Second possibility that we have learned already, that when pronoun is attached with ism, with the ism, then pronoun becomes mudaf ilay. Example, rabbu ka, rabbu and ka, right? Rabbu mudaf and ka mudaf ilay. So this was second option for attached pronoun. One more time. Option one is attached pronoun can become majroor when if it is attached with the preposition. Second option, attached pronoun can become mudaf ilay when if it is attached with the ism, right? Third option, sometime we have a harf nasab, like the inna family, any word from the inna family. For example, innaka, as you say in the salah, innaka hamidum majid. So inna and ka, right? So in this case, attached pronoun will be called ism of inna family, right? So this is the third role for the attached pronoun. That if it is attached with the inna family, it plays the role of ism of inna family, any attached pronoun. And last and final, when pronoun is attached with the fail or verb, then pronoun is called maf'ul, right? For example, if I say daraba ka, he hit you, daraba ka. Now because daraba is a fail, okay, and ka is an attached pronoun, so in this case ka will be called maf'ul. So please remember this, there is no fifth case here. These are the four cases for attached pronoun. It either becomes majroor or mudaf ilay or ism of inna family, and lastly maf'ul. Now let's see that other than iyaka, what do we have? Because one thing is for sure, that ka is attached pronoun. The question will come in your mind, the attached pronoun has to be attached with something. And I agree with you. Inshallah, we'll see that what is happening here. But let's see that which of those four options you have in this case. So na'abudu, obviously na'abudu, it is neither jar, it is nor inna family, and nor it is a ism. Please pay attention. We have ruled out three possibilities because in the case of attached pronoun, there were four possibilities. Na'budu is not a jar. So this is not a jar majroor case. Na'budu is not from the inna family. So it is not that possibility. And third one, na'budu is not a ism. Okay. So the only possibility left is the fourth possibility, that it is actually that case where attached pronoun is attached with the fail and it performs the role of maf'ul. Now, na'budu, please pay attention. Abada, madi. Ya'budu, mudare. And ubud, fail amr. Okay, one more time. Abada, madi. Ya'budu, mudare. And ubud. These are the three forms of this verb. Now, what about na'budu? One thing is for sure. We know that this noon in the start, this is mudare number 14. Because if you recall the mudare chart in your mind, mudare number 14 has noon in the start. A'budu 13 and na'budu 14. Now, abada has the meaning of to worship. Na'budu, we worship. It means that the actual sentence should have been na'budu ka. Na'budu ka. We worship you. It means that one thing is for sure. And what is that? that this na'budu is mudare, and more specifically mudare number 14. And number 14 has a built-in file, and that is nahnu, which means we. Okay, and this ka is a maf'ul. But the change what happened is, instead of saying na'budu ka, they have detached this ka and put it in the start, right? But the problem is attached pronoun has to be attached with something. So this thing, iya, please understand this point. Iya is just simply a support. Iya is simply playing the job or the role of a support. Why? Because attached pronoun cannot stand on its own. You need something. So what they did is they have put a support, and this iya is a fixed word. Whichever attached pronoun you want to bring in the start, you have to use iya. For example, who is an attached pronoun. If you want to bring in the start, iyahu or iyakum, iyakuma. So the rule is whichever attached pronoun you want to bring in the start, you have to give it some support, and that support is iya. So that is the whole job of iya, which means the sentence is na'buduka. Na'budu mudare, nahnu or we is the file, and ka is the attached pronoun, and that ka has been brought in the start. And now you may be thinking that what is the benefit when you remove the attached pronoun from the field and bring it in the start? The benefit is it gives the meaning of exclusivity, which means if you simply say na'buduka, we worship you. But if you say iyaka na'budu, we worship you alone. So now you understand, inshallah, as a student of Arabic language, that there is no such word as alone or only. Then how did they get this word in the translation? So this is how they got it. How they got it? When you bring the maf'ul in the start, it creates the meaning of exclusivity. And the Arabic word for exclusivity is this word, ha, swad, and ra, hasr. Ha, swad, and ra, hasr. Hasr means exclusivity. So, iyyaka na'budu, we worship you alone, right? And if you understand this one, next one is exactly the same. This wa is just the ataf. It is connecting both of them. Iya again is a support. And this ka is a attached pronoun, and it is playing the role of maf'ul. And this nasta'in is again mudare, and it has the built-in file nahnu. Same mudare number 14. Nahnu, which means we. So now this, you may be thinking that how this word nasta'in is made. Inshallah, we will learn. Abada yabudu is simple, okay? This nasta'in, inshallah, I will teach you all the three forms of this verb in our topic, which we already started, that how the words are made. Okay, inshallah, it will come in that discussion. But for now, remember that nasta'in is a mudare number 14. So it has the meaning of help. Now, the actual sentence was nasta'inuka. As a na'buduka, this was nasta'inuka. We worship, we ask for help to you, or we ask you for help. We ask you for help. This ka is a maf'ul. Now you are saying we ask to you alone for help, or you can say it in different ways, but you have to bring in the meanings of alone or only. Why? Because maf'ul, when it comes in the beginning, it creates this extra meaning. So we ask you alone for help, or we ask you for assistance alone. So you need to bring something in the translation to capture this meaning of ihdina as-sirata al-mustaqima. So ihdina, this ihdina, ihdi and na. Okay, so please pay attention. Hada, the past tense, hada, mudare, yahdi, and amar form ihdi, just ihdi. So hada, yahdi and ihdi. So ihdi is a amar form, fail amar, right? But we have discussed that when we use fail amar with regard to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then instead of amar, it becomes dua. Okay, so there's no separate fail for dua. Fail amar plays the role of dua or talab. Okay, so ihdi, we all know that hidayah is the guidance. So ihdi is a fail amar, and it is number one in the amar line, which means that it has a built-in file anta. You guide, ihdi, you guide. Guide to who? Na, us. So maf'ul. Maf'ul. Na is a maf'ul. Okay. Ihdi, you guide. Na, us. Okay. So then as-sirata. You can clearly see that as-sirata is a ism in nasab status. And we have discussed multiple times. In Jumlatul Failiyah, ism in nasab status always plays the role of maf'ul, which means that as-sirata is also maf'ul. Now it will be called maf'ul number 2, because maf'ul number 1 was this na. And then al-mustaqima. Al-mustaqima. You can see as-sirata al-mustaqima. That rhyming pattern, which means that al-mustaqima is the sifa. For who? For as-sirata, which means as-sirata is mawsuf. Now, instead of saying that as-sirata is maf'ul number 2, you will put the whole thing in the bucket of maf'ul number 2. So, as-sirat al-mustaqima, maf'ul number 2. Why? Because as-sirata and al-mustaqima are connected by becoming mawsuf sifa. Let's translate it. Ihdina, ihdi, you guide, na, us, as-sirat al-mustaqima, to the straight path. You guide us to the straight path.